What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day. And in today's episode of Weekly Wednesday Updates, yes, it has been a while, we are going to be doing a plethora of things because there are just a lot of things to get done. Now, there will be our old friend framing in this video because we have a ton of stuff to put behind glass. However, we need to go to the store to get the majority of the frames. We've got a new section of the collection to focus on. It's not really a new section, but it's going to be a new section once all is said and done. And whatever else we come across in the next week. So it's been a while since we've shot one of these videos. I have been traveling, I've been doing shows and conventions and whatnot. I've done everything from The Gathering to a Mudvayne interview to a Guar interview in New York. I've just kind of been all over the place, and this place has been on the back burner. So I'm looking forward to doing this episode and then watching this episode because along with you guys, I really enjoy this style of content. So first things first, we have to head to the store and grab some frames and some shadow boxes and whatever else comes to mind. And the good news is today, we've got the Grom back. That is right. We've got the Grom back. Now, I haven't been riding this over the last few years because I've just been so busy, but I got this back a few days ago from having the engine rebuilt, and I've been riding the shit out of it, and I remembered exactly what made me fall in love with motorcycles, specifically these tiny, fun little Groms. They're just so fun in town, man. And I had the best summer of my life on the Grom the first year that I had it, and I'm starting to feel that again. So I'm looking for any excuse to take this thing out and ride it. And today's excuse is to run to the store to grab some frames. So we are on the Grom. And yeah, maybe I'm using this as a crutch to get me through another hard breakup in my life, but did it work the first time? Yes, it did. Grom time. All right, so here's some of the stuff that's going to need to be framed, and these are things that I'm going to have to purchase the frames for. I actually have a stack of frames over here for my Slave Pit funnies that I purchased already, but today we're going to have to go to the store to buy the things for these things. So first up, we've got the Gathering setup, we've got the mask that Shaggy kind of drew on, and we've got the wristband from there as well. And I also ordered like a 4x4 photo of us during the Palcast to put in the shadow box that I set up. Here we have the Mudvayne stuff. We have the Dig cassette sampler that I took up there and showed him during the interview. We have the ticket stub that we were given at the door. And again, I ordered like a 4x4 photo of me and Chad together to frame, or I guess shadow box, because this thing's kind of thick with 2 C's. Here we've got something that I already have a spot for in the collection, but I'll just throw it in here anyways. It's a stage-used pustulous pick from the latest Guar tour, the Black Death Rager, Cager, Wedgie, Veggie tour, whatever they're calling it. Here is something that came today. It's just a little signed, like, I don't know what you would call this. It's not part of the CD booklet, but it's the same size. And that came with the new Guar CD. So I opened that today and saw that and figured we should probably go ahead and get a frame for that as well. And then, like I said, the Slave Pit funnies, which are over there, but I already have frames for those. So this is just kind of some of the projects that you guys will see come together in this episode. We've got to get this Odorous put up somewhere. He won't quite stay up there, so I think I have to do something to the head that he's on and figure that out. And then I guess just like general cleaning. Like I still have this West Borland stuff that hasn't really found a spot. So we've got Lucy the Bunny along with her box, and we've got the stuff from when Wes VIP'd me earlier this year to a show. So there's just a lot of little tiny things that need taken care of here around the room and the building. And then we will talk a little bit more about the new section towards the end. But for right now, we are on the Grom. We are going to Walgreens to pick up those photos, and then we are going to Walmart and Hobby Lobby in search of some perfect frames and shadow boxes. All right, that frame was easy enough, but you know we gotta check the toys if we're at Walmart. What the fuck is going on? It looks like a toy apocalypse. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just sad. We picked the wrong day to come look for toys at Walmart. I guess we're not technically looking for toys. We just happen to be checking for them. That boy worked up. Alright, so their shadow box department seems to be lacking a little bit, and I can't quite find anything that would be deep enough, giggity, for the Shaggy mask, so that will probably have to be put on the back burner. Maybe if we take a trip sometime this week, we can check another Hobby Lobby or a Michael's or something, but for right now, it's just going to be the Dig cassette sampler shadow box setup. Alright, well, we've got some work to do, so let's get to it. Alright, the framing for now is done. Now we just have to find a place for all of these newly framed items.
So now they want to make any money out of this franchise. They basically have to come to some sort of agreement. And that's looking like what's going to happen with Vertigo Entertainment. But don't worry, in this report, which is based on the stuff that Lee has worked on in the past, great. And I'm sure you've noticed, while movies that he's worked on the Grudge are over at Sony and the Strangers and Universal and now somewhere, I think that franchise could do really well with a really good filmmaker who understands.
Remember the communication works one place simpler. For a new job, we can welcome you back. Grammarly can help you communicate with confidence.
Alright, now that that's all taken care of, do you remember when I said that we have a section of the collection that's been neglected that we will definitely be starting on in this episode? Well, check this out. Nice shirt.
You like that?
Flower Child. What you got?
Surprises.
Surprises. A rusty pole, some old fence.
Something.
I gave your mom a rusty pole. That's my grandma. Don't talk about my grandma like that. All right, so the goal with all this is to make this into the Silent Hill corner. And it won't just have Silent Hill stuff, because there will be other like video game, horror related stuff like The Last of Us. But I just always thought of how perfect this rusty wall was for an underworldly feel. And I've had my nurse here since we got this nurse complete. And I got some other Silent Hill stuff right here. But this stuff always looked super plain, so I wanted to find a way to make this look underworldly. So what we're gonna do is use this fence to decorate this wall, and then we're gonna put up some cool like red gross lighting. We'll get everything resituated over here, and it should be pretty dope by the end of this. And maybe one day we'll have a red pyramid thing, aka Pyramid Head, life-size build over here in the corner as well. All right, so I think the goal here is to cut this in half this way, do one section right there on the bottom, use the rusty pole to make like a seam cover to make this look seamless, or like it's supposed to be there. That way the fences aren't overlapping, and then take another half and do an upper section. So it'll be like fence, pole, fence. I think that should look pretty decent. So we'll see what happens. This looks good though.
Yeah, I want to find a different way to secure it to the... Right now it's just lapped over some screws.
Yeah. Man, just a couple more inches would be perfect.
Right.
And I've heard that my whole life. All right, guys, unfortunately, this piece of the fence is not only a little too short, it's like 5 or 6 inches too short, but there's also this big gash. So it's not the nicest piece of fence, which is funny because we want the fence to be rusty and gross, but being ripped apart is not really the look that I'm going for. So this is all we got done for right now. And I think I'm actually going to cut the episode off right here, because not only does this give you a good idea as to where we're going, but I think it's a good stopping point, and it'll give you something to look forward to in the next episode. We are currently scouting for more rusty underworld style fence. This was just something that my dad had that we thought would fit this wall, and we were pretty close, but no cigar. So yeah, we're going to stop right here, and we're going to come back in the next episode and have this whole section finished out. I'm really excited for this. This is a section of the House of Masks and a subject matter of the House of Masks that I have wanted to do since we got the building. So to finally see that coming to fruition is really cool. But for this episode, we are pretty much done. I feel like we got a lot accomplished. It was slightly different than I expected it to be, because I definitely thought that we were going to get this done at the beginning, but that just goes to show that you shouldn't really count all your eggs before they hatch. So we are going to call it right there. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I know that there is a very core group of people that loves this series, and I like it too, because I'm always interested to see what goes on behind the scenes of stuff, and that is essentially what this series is for this channel. I just think that this gives you a really good insight into the building itself, the collection itself, beyond the items that are in the collection, etc. So yeah, I like this stuff. Hope that you guys like it too. If you did, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up down below. It definitely helps the channel. And let's go ahead and try to get you to comment down there too. What should today's question be? Oh, I've got a good one. Silent Hill versus Resident Evil. What is your preferred video game franchise? Don't take into account the movies. I don't count those because really they're all not good when it comes down to it. I gotta go with Silent Hill. Resident Evil never did it for me. It was always just too kind of futuristic and sci-fi based, whereas Silent Hill is more atmospheric horror and feels like straight up horror rather than sci-fi with just some horror elements. So Silent Hill, of course, for me. Let me know down below what your choice is, Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and we will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, This has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to cool building projects. Bye forever.